Imagine this, a young Muslim man named Adam, just 20 years old, living in the busy and modern city of Berlin, Germany. His nights are swallowed by the glow of his phone screen, his eyes wide open at 3 a.m., endlessly scrolling, searching, and losing himself. His messy room mirrors his inner chaos. Clothes scattered, books left untouched, dust on shelves, and spiderwebs hanging silently in the corners. When the blessed call for Fajr echoes at 5:30 a.m., several alarms ring one after another. Adam's tired hand reaches out from under the blanket and silences them all. His mother has already called him 3 times, worried about his soul and his health. On his phone are dozens of open tabs. Some saved Islamic lectures he planned to watch but never did, and many harmful videos that consumed his night. While the birds outside welcome the sunrise, Adam drifts back into restless sleep.
Hours later, near noon, he finally wakes up. The first thing he does is grab his phone again, almost without thinking, like it controls him more than he controls it. Notifications flood his screen, among them a message from his mother. "Son, don't forget your prayer." He looks at his prayer app and realizes Fajr is long gone. Now even Dhuhr is approaching. With a sigh, he repeats the promise he's been making for months. "Tomorrow, I'll change. Insha'Allah, tonight I'll sleep early." But deep down, he knows he has said these words too many times before. Adam sits at his desk, textbooks open in front of him. Exams are just around the corner, and he knows he needs to study. Yet his phone sits within arm's reach, glowing like a magnet for his attention. After only a few minutes of trying to read, his hand reaches for it again. "Just for a minute," he whispers to himself. That 1 minute quickly turns into 2 wasted hours of scrolling through meaningless content. When he sees a reminder of his upcoming exam, panic hits him. Another day lost. As Maghrib approaches, guilt begins to weigh on him. He stands near his prayer mat, but just as he's about to pray, his phone buzzes. A new episode of his favorite series. "Just 1 episode, then I'll pray with a clear mind," the whisper in his head suggests. But 1 episode turns into 3. When he finally prays, it is rushed, empty of presence, his heart distracted. He whispers to himself, "Why am I like this? Why can't I stop?" At dinner, Adam joins his family. His younger sister Sarah joyfully shares what she learned at weekend Islamic school. His father speaks warmly about the mosque and the new youth programs. His mother looks at him with concerned eyes. She suggests gently, "There's a special youth gathering tomorrow at the masjid. Maybe you could join." But Adam quickly cuts her off, not lifting his eyes from the phone hidden under the table. "I have to study, Mom." The silence that follows is heavier than words. His parents exchange a glance filled with worry. Night falls again. While many believers rise for tahajjud at this blessed hour, Adam sits in darkness, his only companion the glow of his phone. He tries to distract himself, opening an Islamic lecture he saved days ago. But within minutes, he drifts into watching harmful videos he knows he shouldn't. At first, they excite him, but soon that excitement fades into shame and self-disgust. He locks his phone, unlocks it, repeats the cycle over and over. For the first time in months, he looks into his mirror. The reflection staring back at him is exhausted, not just physically, but spiritually. His eyes are heavy, his soul feels empty. He remembers the countless Fajr prayers he slept through, the Qur'an he ignored, the hours wasted on things that left his heart darker. Overcome with pain, he falls onto his prayer mat. Tears wet the fabric as his voice cracks. "Ya Allah, I can't do this anymore. Please help me." Unlike before, these words aren't empty. They are a desperate cry for change. That night, Adam dreams. He is standing before the Kaaba, surrounded by worshippers. Among the crowd, an elderly man approaches him, his presence filled with light. The man speaks directly to Adam's heart. "Your phone is not your prison. It is the emptiness in your life, the distance from Allah that traps you. Shaitan whispers and you follow, but remember,
The real problem is forgetting your purpose. The next morning feels different. Adam makes wudu with cold water, walks to the masjid, and prays with sincerity. His heart feels lighter, his soul alive. But soon, back at home, the motivation fades. Once again, he reaches for his phone. Once again, he stumbles. Hours slip away and shame crushes him. His mother calls him for lunch, and in that moment, his frustration overflows. He smashes his phone on the floor, the screen shattering like his fragile control. He feels Shaitan's grip stronger than ever.
Still trembling, he remembers the words from his dream. He picks up his journal and begins writing, pouring out his struggle. He writes about the whispers he hears, the doubts, the temptations, the lies of Shaitan telling him he will never change. But then he writes something new. I will not let Shaitan define my destiny. I may fall, but I will not surrender. Slowly, he begins to notice his thoughts more clearly. He remembers a lesson he once heard. When you are mindful that Allah is always watching, desires lose their power. He reflects, if I stay present, if I remember Allah, then fewer thoughts will overwhelm me. And with fewer thoughts, desires lose their control. From that day forward, he starts a new practice. Whenever the urge comes, he reminds himself, Allah is watching me. Each time, the battle begins anew. His phone charges, notifications return, the temptation whispers, just open it, just scroll, just one more time. But now he has a shield. Wanting it doesn't make it good for me, he tells himself. The struggle doesn't end, but now he fights with awareness. And so I ask you, if you were in Adam's place, facing the same struggle, what would you do? Share your thoughts in the comments, write your reflections in a journal, or let this story remind you that you're not alone. If you found benefit in this journey, subscribe so you don't miss more reminders about Qur'an and Sunnah. Your comment helps us know which struggles matter most to you, so we can address them together. May Allah grant us strength against our desires, forgive our mistakes, and bring peace to our hearts. Ameen.